Hey, this is ChrisUX, founder of the Inspire Agency. Welcome back for another video. Today, we'll talk about the tools I use on a daily as a UX designer. I think it's good for people coming out of boot camps or certification programs, and there's so many tools out there to use as a UX designer. I can't say there's any right or wrong tools to use. I'm just sharing the tools that I use on a daily basis, and it kind of give you more of a I guess more perspective how I pull things together, right? So the first tool I use probably the most, well, it's funny, I don't really use it the most, but I use it on a daily basis. So it's Figma, obviously. Of course, there's a lot of prototyping tools you can use. You have Figma, you have InVision, you have Sketch. But for me, it's been Figma because Figma is what I use with the Inspire Agency. Figma is what I use on my day job. So, but when I was first learning UX, I first started off on Adobe XD, and then I pivoted over to Figma. One tool, you can learn them all, to be honest with you, in my opinion. But that's a tool, that's my preferred tool for UI work. Slack. Slack is probably the tool I use the most. The Slack is a communication tool. And I say I use that a lot because like me and my partner with the Spy Agency, and we both had separate day jobs, we both had separate lives, and of course we're still taking in clients for the Spy Agency, and we're always bouncing ideas back and forth to each other. So we have a private channel that we talk, and we can easily send each other quick notes throughout the day or whatever it comes to us to make things happen. So, but Slack is probably the most important tool that I use for community, as far as communication. Because communication is a lot. I actually about to do a video about communication coming up. But yeah, but that's a very important tool I use. Another tool I use is Microsoft OneNote. OneNote, I love it. OneNote is just a great way for me to, because like I said, I use Slack to communicate with my partner, and then you can be bouncing ideas back and forth, and like thoughts or whatever you may have going on, and then I'm gonna flesh them out in OneNote. OneNote is like a digital notebook, basically. Now he's more of a handwriting type of guy. I type faster than what I write, and when thoughts come to me, it comes to me pretty fast. So OneNote really works out for me. But of course, you can use your stylus with OneNote as well, but I like to type. And so OneNote, you have different notebooks. I have a notebook. I use OneNote on my day job. So I have one on my day job. I have a one notebook for Inspire Agency. I have one for a cookbook, like recipes I was working on. I have a variety of books, books in OneNote. It is a great way to organize all my thoughts and ideas and concepts. I like it. It's free, right? Miro. I use Miro for my whiteboarding. There's a lot of tools for that too. You have Miro. You have FigJam. I use Miro. It's a great whiteboard collaboration tool, especially. I use it on my day job, and I use with Inspire Agency. We put together our thoughts and ideas on flows, user flows. We collaborate with other people, other designers. It's easy for multiple people can tap in and edit and whatnot. So, but I think it's a good idea, especially if you're a new designer, to know what Miro is. And they have a free certification program. Like you can just go to the little training and take the test and everything, and they give you a certificate you can even add to your LinkedIn profile. So I definitely recommend Miro. Slide decks. I love making slide decks. So for my slide decks, I use, or my slide presentations, I use Canva, and sometimes I use Microsoft Designer. They're both great, great tools. And because to me, once you do your UX work, you got to present your work to the stakeholder, right? And you have to be able to present it in a way they can understand it. And to me, that's when your slide presentations come in handy. And a good visual tool like Canva or Microsoft Designer is a great tool to use. Again, free. ChatGPT, I use that a lot as well. Like, now sometimes like I can be sharing ideas with my partner, and like say he has other things going on, so it'll take a while for him to get back to me on things. But I might run into ChatGPT, and it's you can't use ChatGPT to do the work for you, but I do think it's a great tool to lead, like to nudge you in the right direction of things, right? So like sometimes like I may need a title for a video, or I need to flesh out a concept or idea a little bit more. So I run to ChatGPT and see what feedback it gives me. Then I run to my business partner run by him, you know, but it's just a great tool and really improve my workflow. Like I get so much more done because sometimes I just need that little extra just like put me in the right direction. Like if I can't find the right word I'm looking for, or you know, I feel like the storytelling of a product is not flowing correctly, I can kind of fill in a blank using ChatGPT that kind of like lead me in the right direction. So I use ChatGPT a lot. And to me, the secret to it is like just really know how to talk to it, right? Know how to really know how to prompt it, basically. Google Meetings, you know, I do use Zoom, I do use Microsoft Teams, um, but for this agency, my preference is probably Google Meetings because it's free. You can't get free meetings on Zoom, but it's very restricting to me, especially at more than 2 people. And I think there's a little bit more flexibility in Google Meetings. And then, of course, it links up to my Google Calendar and everything, so that works out great. Speaking of which, that's another tool I use. Is Google Calendar. Um, excuse me. Organization is everything, and I maintain like multiple calendars. Like I have an Outlook calendar with a day job, but I have like 2 or 3 Google calendars. Like one for the spy agency. I have a personal calendar, and like if I wake up in the morning, like I have the calendar widget on my phone. I can kind of like see my day mapped out, like color coded and everything, and it just makes things a lot easier for me because I do a lot. Like I work a lot, so like for me, free time is a luxury. So I had to be organized with my time, and the Google Calendar is a plus for me with that. Another tool I use on my day job is Jira. I personally really care for Jira, but I do see the importance of Jira. I think it's good to know Jira because that's what a lot of big companies use. Um, but you know, I use Jira to get my tickets for assignments that I'm doing. Um, I mean, I get why Jira is being used because you know, especially you know, tying in work with a designer and your developer and everything. So Jira is a very robust tool, but I just don't care for it. Now for a spy agency, I prefer Trello. Trello to me is much more easier to use, more fluid. But that's just you're doing different type of work, and like we're not doing development work, so we don't need something as fleshed out as Jira to do what we're doing for a spy agency. So the last tool, very quickly, is Microsoft Outlook because like the day job use Microsoft 365, so it's mostly Microsoft products. Use Outlook, and then the other is Excel. I use Excel for managing my tickets. Even clear picture. I mean, Jira does it too. I mean, Jira does have a Kanban board, but I prefer using Excel. When I have the team meeting with my squad, it's just easier to get breakdown and get updates on the tickets I'm working on using Excel. I don't use it for all the math stuff. You know, this for organizing, like seeing what's done, what's being completed, fleshing out what things need to be done by which sprint need to go to development, like stuff like that. I use Microsoft Excel. Uh, yeah, but there's plenty of free tools out there. But I just want to share some tools that I use on a daily basis as a UX designer. Hope the video helped. You know, share below what tools do you use on a daily basis. If it's the same tools, it's something different, let us know. Like, share, subscribe. Also, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you're interested in my services, you can reach out to the Inspire Agency, inspire-ux.com. Thank you for watching.